Okay, so yesterday we went over, or yesterday, last time you saw what was going on, we went over a number of things. Like again, we repeated breaking the guard. I showed you a new pass, a new guard pass, in which instead of putting our chest down on the leg, you scoot out around, but you just put your knee up and slide through the inner thigh and out to there in your straight inside position. Showed you a neck crank, an unusual neck crank that's not really known around, and we talked about the importance of position. So we're going to continue on today, and we're going to show you a couple other submissions. So I was watching a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments on YouTube the other night, and I was, you know my feelings about martial arts. The martial arts are to be used as self-defense. I'm not too much into the sport thing anymore. At one time I was. I want to know what works. There's too much paper dragon crap out there, and so I want to know what works. And I watched these tournaments, and I watched every one of them had specifically done tournaments in order to just be a sport and somebody not to get hurt and all that. So they pulled away escaping triangle chokes by slams. So they pulled that away, okay? And then they took away knee bars, and then they took away Achilles locks, and then they took away any other kind of leg work that might hurt a person, stuff like that. Now I understand it's a tournament, and you're not going there to get hurt, but the problem is not many of these, when you're training for tournaments, which is how a lot of guys end up getting the final say for a belt and all that kind of stuff. They're going to focus on the sport aspect, and there's all these other tools you could be using on the ground. So I'm going to cover a couple of those tools today, and I'm going to go over some leg locks. Okay, so we're going to start off first as though I am matching up with you. Zach, you want to take your hat off or turn backwards or something like that? I'll take mine off, kind of like that. Okay, and so here we go. We're coming in. He's taking the stance, right? I want to take him down, so his front leg right there, he's not taking a very good stance right now. Take a good stance. Zach, drop down with your knees, the little hips over top. Okay, I want to go in, the leg that I want to grab, if I'm shooting in for a single leg, I'm going to match legs with him. So if he put his other leg forward, then I'd change to that, because then I am closer to that leg. If I'm trying to go shooting for the back leg right here, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Okay, so go in your regular leg there. Okay, so he's got his. Now I am a naturally a regular stance fighter, but because I've had so many shoulder surgeries, I had to switch to take my power arm and make it into my jab, and my jab hand, my lead hand. There's a number of fighters out there that have done this, but I had surgery on here, and it's just never been the same. And I noticed most of my ideas for MMA, for self-defense, are the smothering blanket, what we call, so getting on them and not giving them any kind of space. And so it makes more sense for me to say, you know what, I'm gonna develop my home defense, my self-defense game plan based on, ooh, that's hot, holy smokes, you might want to put your sandals on if you want, based on what works for my body type, what works for all this. And this is what you guys got to figure out too. Not everything is going to be good. Not everything everybody says the way you should learn, what you should focus on is going to be right. You'll know. Okay, so anyways, I've developed this, so now I've got a really strong, I used to have a really strong jab, enough I could probably knock somebody out with it. I was blessed with that, but now I'm just going to use that as my power hand, and I'm going to use even my stronger hand as my jab, bang, like that, and my hooks, my lead hooks. So once I get in to come forward here, Zach, forward more and more, because I'm going to take you down. So I'm going to shoot in for my single leg, and we know how that is, right? Okay, I'm going to measure the distance. I'm going to keep him occupied here. May even flick out a jab like this, in which he's occupied up here. You could maybe even see he's loading up on this hand, so telegraphing. He's ready to do that. As soon as he's ready to do that, then I duck down and I shoot in. And remember what I do. I go high crotch as much as I can. I cross my arms like that. Okay, I'm not trying to clamp on. I'm crossing my arms like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start switching stances, pulling them down, like that. Okay, now I am going to find myself, move up here for me. It's hot, eh?
Yeah.
I am going to find myself in a position where, because I've taken him down for a single leg, I may not want to let go of that leg. So what do I, because that is a tool. Now, like I said, these have been outlawed in a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments, okay? MMA tournaments, you can't do knee bars anymore. Or not knee bars, you can't do, what is it? The lock where you grab the heel hook. You can't do a heel hook in case you bust up their leg. So these are all things like with our self-defense we teach is, you know what, all the illegal things are legal when you're in self-defense, are legal. So I have got him down. I've taken him down and I've still got his leg. He's down. I've pulled him through. Now what I want to do is I want to do this, I want to be vicious. If this is self-defense, I want to be vicious. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to just simply go like this. I am going to, if I can, step over, and I am going to keep, and I am going to drop back. Oh, sorry.
That hurt.
Sorry. I'm going to see the amount. I didn't even fall back hard there. But this is what, but I could break, guys, like, so your small bone of your arm, of your lower arm, goes underneath the Achilles, right here, okay? The farther up to the calf it goes, the more it hurts, okay? The farther down it goes, the more likely you're to do damage or break, okay? So anywhere in here is good. So you get this top right here, this top of the foot goes under the arm. This small bone in this goes here. I do the same thing as I do with a key lock. This arm goes underneath. This hand goes on top of the shin. This hand over here, underneath, and on top of this other arm right here. And all I do is, like I said in the armbar instructional, get your knees close together to lock it in. And all you have to do, just like, you know, don't make the mistake of trying to crank back with your arms. Use your whole body. It's the same as when I taught you about the rear naked choke. It's not that you're going to go behind and pull up on your arms and your shoulders. You'll have to snug them in a bit there, but it's actually your body that's going to be the strength. So when you think about a leg against a whole body, a whole torso, there's no comparison. So all I do is I get this right here, I keep my close like that, and I just drop back, especially if I'm still standing, right? I'm still standing, and then I just put the foot over and I drop back like this. And I'm telling you, the guy will scream in pain, okay? You can also, if you can get close enough, you can just go like that, okay? But then you are open to him getting your toes and breaking your toes, because we believe in those kind of small joint manipulation as well. So here, I just want to say, what does that feel like, Zach? Okay, so I'm not even pulling back hard right now. It's the small bone on the Achilles, okay? That is your first leg lock you're going to learn, okay? So let's go over that once more again. Okay, so I'm going to go slow. Stand up for me. Okay, actually, so just go easy here. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretend I'm going to actually start off on this side, because I'm going to spin you right here. Okay, so foot to foot, right? I bang in both. I'm in close. My head is in close, okay? In close. Okay, I just simply start moving around, okay? Now I've got this leg. What am I gonna do with the leg? I'm gonna go as slow as I can here, Zach. I can either just drop back this way, or I can put my foot across like this, and I'll try not to do it. Oh, sorry, I landed on his other foot, so there you go, there's something else. 1-800-JENNY. But anyways, lock it in, key lock this in, and just crank. Use your body. Don't use your arms. Use your body, okay? It's really simple. It's the simplest of the leg locks, and it'll be the one most open to you all the time, okay? Leg lock number 2. we're gonna do the same thing, okay? So he's on the side here, okay? I come in, I shoot in, arms crossed, head in here, close to the thigh, stepping back, leaning down, okay? And I find myself in this position, and I haven't really been able to get my leg over, but I'm right here. So what I want to do is get this leg over, okay, if I can. Okay, but the best way to do this is if he starts wriggling around, he's going to try to go to this side for sure. All of a sudden this heel right here, so the heel part becomes open. So what do we do again? Same principle, okay? This is a little bit sloppy. Get these. Okay, so this right here, where I've got this massive ugly scar, but right in between the elbow, the inner parts of the elbow, is going to hook on the other side of his heel. Okay, so right here in between my bicep and my forearm, his heel should be pointing towards that. What I'm simply doing is I'm getting this, and now I will clasp my hands. I will crank my legs up as much as I can without trying to get him away, and I will pull this way. Once again, I use my body. My arms will have a little bit to do with it, but not much. And once I get him in that, I can crank like that, and so my ribs stop his foot. My ribs stop his foot from going up further, okay? And his heel, now I will disjoint his knee, and that's called a heel hook. Okay, so let's show you again here. This was outlawed early on in the UFC because of who was it? Ken Shamrock, Pat Smith. Ken Shamrock, Pat Smith, big strapping lad, telling he's gonna eat everybody for breakfast kind of deal. Shamrock goes in, sits back, gets his legs, takes him down, sits back into a heel hook, and the guy is screaming and he's limping off, okay? I think the guy's record was 200 bare knuckle karate fights or something like that. He'd won. So it was just done like that. So that heel hook is a killer. Okay, so stand up again, Zach. Well, actually, no, lie down. Lie down on your back without doing the, okay, so we find ourselves in this position again, okay? So we find ourselves in this position, okay? I kick down, okay? I don't know what to do in this position. Right now, I'm kind of like, you know, he's looking at my leg and saying, it'd be good to put underneath his arm and do something. So I've only got a limited amount of time. So I want to grab onto this. I want to put this against my ribs. I want to reach down so that in between my bicep and the forearm, mostly on the forearm, I have got his heel. So his heel is pointing there, and our idea is to pull it around. Okay, so now when I do this, I got to crank in again. It's important to lock those legs together. Okay, I am going to crank up like that, and within seconds, that should dislocate the knee. Okay, so and once again, try to use your body, right? When we're in the street and you're trying to disable somebody so they can't run after you or whatever like that, that is vicious, and that is one of those locks in which whether the guy's all high on PCP or whatever, he's not going to be able to move the leg. So these are disabling moves, right? Okay.